Can you exploit fantasy football opponents using risk tolerance? Have you ever wondered if you can gain an edge in fantasy football by understanding how willing your opponents are to take risks? Let's break down how risk tolerance can play a significant role in your strategy. Risk tolerance in fantasy football varies widely among managers. Some prefer steady players who consistently score points, while others chase high-reward players who can either shine or flop. Knowing where your opponents fall on this spectrum can help you craft a winning strategy. To identify an opponent's risk tolerance, start by examining their roster. Do they favor reliable players who score consistently, or do they stockpile high-risk, high-reward athletes? Pay attention to their waiver wire activity as well. Are they frequently picking up unproven players hoping for a breakout? This behavior can indicate a higher risk tolerance. Also, look at their trade patterns. Are they willing to trade reliable players for those with uncertain outcomes? Once you have a sense of their risk tolerance, you can exploit it. If you are up against a high-risk opponent, focus on drafting players with consistent performance. These players may not have the highest ceilings, but they can outscore volatile players on weeks when those boom or bust options underperform. On the other hand, if you face a conservative manager, consider acquiring high upside players. These players might outperform safer choices, especially in leagues where having a high ceiling can be a game changer. Another tactic is to use blocking strategies. If you know a risk-tolerant opponent is eyeing a specific player, consider picking that player up yourself. This denies them access to their preferred boom or bust option, forcing them to adjust their strategy. When making trade offers, tailor them to match your opponent's risk profile. Offer steady players to conservative managers and high upside players to aggressive ones. This approach can help you secure favorable deals. In different league types, understanding risk tolerance can be even more beneficial. In best ball leagues, balancing your roster to counter your opponents' tendencies can lead to better outcomes than simply following rankings. In guillotine leagues, where avoiding the lowest score is vital, prioritize consistent players. This strategy can exploit opponents who might risk elimination by relying on volatile players. Finally, understanding risk tolerance can also inform your streaming decisions. For example, when selecting defenses or kickers, anticipate whether your opponents will swap players frequently or stick with safer options. By integrating risk tolerance analysis into your overall strategy, you can anticipate opponents' moves and manipulate the waiver wire and trade market to your advantage. So, can you exploit fantasy football opponents using risk tolerance? Absolutely. By recognizing and adapting to their tendencies, you can significantly improve your chances of winning.